Today's topic is going to be music. What's so cool about this is that if you're watching this video, that means you're most likely a person, a human being. And if you're a human being, you like music. Everyone likes music on this entire planet. You may not like the music I listen to, and I may not like your music, but we all like music. It's a part of everyone's life. Music tells a story. It brings back memories. It's happiness, it's sadness, it's depression, it's joy, it's excitement, it's anticipation, it's every single thing in between. And music can be very emotional. But I want to talk about music today. I was just thinking about it, and I jotted down some of my favorite songs, and I figured I'd make a video about it. Why not? You know, we're all into music. We all have different tastes in music, but I want to tell you all about mine in case you're interested, because occasionally I like playing a song in a video, and you know it's iffy with copyright stuff, and I've taken down a lot of videos that I've had because of music in it, whether I was warned or not. I just don't want to have to, skate on thin ice, so to speak. And it's a shame because there's so many great songs out there. You know, we should be able to use them for videos. And as I made a video in the past, you put a little slow motion and the right song to it, you can make anything interesting and fun to watch. It makes it exciting. Music enhances everything. Um, Now, let me just tell you my taste in music. I am pretty diverse. I love classic rock. Classic rock is my bread and butter. No matter what I listen to, I always go back home, and home for me is classic rock. And when I say that, I'm talking about pretty much all classic rock across the board, from one-hit wonders um, like Black Betty, all the way down to some just classic and what you would consider overplayed songs like "Stairway to Heaven" by Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, the Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton. It's really too long of a list to even mention all the different types of musicians and bands I listen to and love. And there's songs that I've literally heard thousands and thousands of times, and they don't get old. How cool is that? Songs that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years, and people still listen to them. Today's music, a lot of it, I think, is it's like toe tapping kind of. Oh, that's cool. It's a cool song, but like a month goes by and everyone forgets about it. Classic rock has definitely lasted the test of time, and it's just really cool. And I happen to grow up with it. My parents were young when I was born. My mother was 16. My father was 19. So we were close in age. So like they listened to cool music. It wasn't like old, I don't know, stuff from the 20s and 30s. I grew up with classic rock, and it's been part of my history, and it's in my blood, and I love it. But as a teenager and stuff, I certainly liked a lot of stuff they didn't like. Growing up, I loved Metallica and Nirvana. I listened to bands like Prodigy, a whole bunch of stuff. It's pretty diverse, but I go from cool, kind of slower classic rock all the way down to like heavy metal, and it really just depends on my mood. I've listened to pretty much everything that's out there. Some things I like more than others, but there are certain songs I listen to, about 4 or 5 times in a row, and then like I'm like, all right, I'm done with that. I mean, one great example of that would be the song Pepper. I got into that. I listened to it like every single day for like 2 weeks, and then I got sick of it. I never listened to it again. It was catchy, but it didn't stand out after a while. It got really annoying, to be honest. Now there's a lot of music that I do like, but it tends to get a little annoying. Like I could take small doses of it. Rap is definitely a good example of that. I like rap, but in small doses. I can't just full on rap all the time. That's not my thing. I definitely like rock, but specifically classic rock. There are definitely some rap bands I do like quite a bit. I love Cottonmouth Kings. Obviously, it was part of my past, so it brings up a lot of memories, but I happen to think that their music is catchy. Um, I also like Cypress Hill. Cypress Hill is also a big part of my past, and I still think it's catchy, but in small doses. If I listen to it over and over again, it's like, yeah, yeah. But that could be with any song, really. But I can't. It's hard. I'm going to give you my top 10 list, but these top 10 songs are my favorite songs but it's hard to limit it really to even 10. I can give you 100 of my favorite songs that I like equally. I picked the top 10 most emotional songs for me. Okay, these are the songs that have such an impact to me. Like, no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, these songs come on, or if I hear these songs, I stop what I'm doing and I listen to it. These are the type of songs that you can sit out, on a, I don't know, like on a beach and look out into the ocean and just listen to and just get really deep into thought and really think about like life. You can sit and look out, across a vast ocean, or look at a mountain, or look out in the desert, kind of a thing. Something where nothing else matters when you're listening to the song. You're so focused on the song and it's so emotional to you. A few of these songs will make me literally break down in tears. All right. Forget the manly man, I don't cry kind of bull crap. There are songs in here that have such an impact on me emotionally that instantaneously, when I hear them, I start crying like a baby. But it's not like I'm sad. It's some of it's joyful, some of it's just crazy. Music is huge in all of our lives, and I thought it'd be interesting to start some videos on music. We all like it. So tag your friends, tag your buddies. I'm not going to tag anyone in this video. Um, there's so many people who I'd like to hear their opinions, but instead of tagging them and forcing them and putting pressure on, I'm not going to do that. But hey, start the trend. If you want to start tagging people, that's cool. But here's my list. My top 10 most emotional favorite songs ever. And I'll tell you briefly about each song, but I'm not going to go into depth as to why it may make me feel a certain way or stuff like that. But anyway, first song on my list is Led Zeppelin, as I drop my pen. Led Zeppelin, No Quarter. Now, by the way, if you haven't heard any of these songs, like if I mention a song and you never heard it, go listen to it and look it up. Most likely, you have heard a lot of these songs, you just don't know the names of it. If you happen to be into like newer music, you might not know what these are, but I'm sure you've heard it. No Quarter is an amazing song. Again, this is one of those things where I can listen to it and stare out the window and get lost in thought. Just think about anything pops into my head, the weirdest, strangest things. This is one of those songs, it's under the radar. It's not a big radio song, but it's really deep, if that makes any sense, without being deep. It's just, for me, it's just a fantastic song. Awesome. And Led Zeppelin has a bunch of classics, but this one is one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs, No Quarter. The next song, Van Morrison, Moondance. Now, Van Morrison has some awesome, awesome songs, but Moondance to me has got to be one of the classiest songs in the world. I mean, I want to be dressed nice when I listen to it, all right? It's just, I don't know what it is. When I was younger, I heard it, and that was like the epitome of just manly man of the house, totally cool, walking in the door like Ace Ventura type, not Ace Ventura, not the Pet Detective, Dick Tracy is what I was thinking of. Think of Dick Tracy the movie, this is like the scene, the setting of time where class was just, I mean, you just knew what was classy. Pet Detective is not classy. Anyway, it's funny, but it's not classy. Yeah, Van Morrison, Moondance. If you have not heard that song, you are missing out. It's just, I think of like a jazz club. I think of some guy in the corner smoking a cigar with like, a big hat with some kind of ribbon on it, tuxedo, pinstripe tuxedo. Like, I get a very specific visual with this song, but it's awesome. Awesome, awesome song. All right. Got to have some Pink Floyd on this list. Pink Floyd, a lot of their songs are amazing. I can watch the movie The Wall and listen to the soundtrack, obviously watching the movie, and every single song is amazing. But one really stands out, and that is Welcome to the Machine. Pink Floyd's Welcome to the Machine makes so much sense, but is still so out there. But it's just awesome. I can't even explain it, but it does. It's the epitome of society. And you know what? This song came out how many years ago? And it's still true to today, and even gets more true as every single day passes. Fantastic tune. Just one of my favorites. All right, the next one is very feminine. Okay, and this one's going to come out of left field, and most of you guys probably never even heard of the band. But it's a song by the Cranberries. Okay, which is kind of, it's a chick band. I mean, the leads, it's all girls. I think they're Irish. But the lead singer, she's a beautiful voice. And the song particularly is When You're Gone. Now, this song is very, very specific to one person in my life. And it's so overwhelming. It's such a joyful, happy, but at the same time sad. It's the love story that couldn't be kind of a thing. It's amazing. But when I hear this song, I start bawling. I cry like a baby. So I mean, when this song's done with, I'm tired from crying. Um, a lot of people might say, "Oh, that's so wimpy. Why would you cry?" Music, it's emotional. This one hits me the hardest of any song ever, and it's because it is specific to one thing in my life that means so much, and it's just it's insane. But I don't really want to talk about it. Anyway, that's a great song. Okay, the next one, Neil Young. And Neil Young also has a bunch of great, great songs, but specifically, Old Man does it for me. Neil Young's Old Man is a tearjerker. It's a lot of people can relate to the song. A lot of people can really listen to it and listen to the lyrics. It's catchy. It's really catchy. But you really all these songs, by the way, you do listen to the lyrics. It's not just this has a cool tune to it. No, you're listening to the words. These are all poetry. Okay, it just comes out in a very cool song kind of way. But yeah, Old Man for me does it. It gets me kind of puffy eyed, and it's a great song though. Staying on Neil Young's theme, and Neil Young is one of these guys that I love, but he's also in kind of little doses because if I listen to too much Neil Young, it gets very whiny. Me. It's kind of like how some people feel about oh crap, what's his name? I can't think of it. Another famous musician, but he gets very kind of Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan's another like small dose kind of thing. It can get too whiny after a while. But hey, to each his own. But Neil Young is awesome though. But specifically, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, when they're all a group, "Our House" is one of my favorite songs, and that's directly related to my family. And I remember, I grew up in Jersey and having barbecues, the whole neighborhood just getting together. I mean, you're talking like 10 different families, the kids running around the backyard, 2 or 3 barbecues going, music pumping, everyone's kind of drinking beer, having fun, playing darts, kids are playing basketball. Wholesome, like just an amazing time in my life. Total innocence, didn't think of anything bad in the world. I was a kid, anywhere. This started when I was in 3rd grade, and this stuff lasted every single summer. It was beautiful. The whole neighborhood got together. It was like a block party. And it was really cool. And it's really sad because over the years, all these families just slowly drifted apart. The parties started happening less and less. A lot of the families that came, the parents got divorced. There was literally 7 or 8 different families, and they all got divorced. All the parents, It's really sad to think about because it slowly fell apart. All this joy and goodness. Um, and there was a film that one of the women who lived in the neighborhood, her name was Nancy. She did film editing and stuff. So she made these VHS tapes about the whole neighborhood because we're all one big family. Is one big happy family. And she did like a montage kind of video. It had all of us in it, and that's the song she used in that video. And for years and years, I wanted the video because we all got one. She passed them all out, but then ours got thrown out or something. And I kept asking for years and years and years, but I never turned up. But that song always reminds me of that and my whole youth. That covers my entire childhood. And at the end of that video was a really nice thing about my cousin who committed suicide. And she was one of my best friends in the world when I was young. An amazing girl, and she got caught up in drugs, and she did heroin, and her and her boyfriend committed suicide. And it just broke up the family and just broke everyone's hearts. And she had everything going for her. Beautiful girl, very smart, but she just got caught in that whole depression thing, and her boyfriend was depressed, and they just were depressed together, and they just wanted to get high, and then she ended it. And it was very emotional. But this song brings all of that back like it happened yesterday. So that song for me means a lot, and that is another tearjerker when I hear it. But it is an amazing song. It's very, very good. Another one is Leonard Skinner, "Simple Man." And this one for a lot of people may be like played out kind of a thing. Like, oh, I heard that so many times. But still, fantastic, very good, very hit home, emotional, strong meaning song. Poetry, you know, the lyrics are poetry. Awesome. Um, okay, next on the list is the Rolling Stones. And another band which I like a lot of their music. But my favorite song from them is Angie. Angie is just another awesome song, and I relate it specifically to something which makes it even more like, emotional. I attach, we all do this too. We attach different songs to memories we have, and maybe good ones, maybe bad ones. Maybe the first time you fell in love with someone, you listen to a song together. Or if you're divorced a couple times, that first wife, you had like your song with her. Or growing up, maybe your best friend used to always listen to a song. You always relate them to memories. And that's what's so cool. You can kind of relive those good memories, and we do hang on to them. The bad ones, not so much. We tend to try to forget about bad memories, but music's very powerful, extremely powerful. But Angie is a fantastic song, Rolling Stones. All right, the next one may be a little cliche, but still, every time I hear it, it's like the first time I heard it, and it does make so much sense. John Lennon's Imagine. And the man was a genius, whether you like the Beatles or not. He was an amazing person, amazing lyricist, musician, philosopher in his own sense. He wasn't always right about stuff. I don't agree with everything he ever talked about. But the man was ahead of his time, in my opinion. But Imagine was a just awesome, awesome song. If you've never heard that before, if you're watching this video and you're like 12 or 13 years old and you don't even know John Lennon is and the Beatles, first of all, that's a shame. Our society is going down the crapper. But you should listen to it and listen to the words. Listen to the lyrics. Okay, and the last one on my list is Benny King. I would say Benny King, but it's Ben E. King. Stand By Me. Another classic, just pop culture song, way before my time, but still, it's just an awesome song. And when I wrote that on the list, Stand By Me, I started reminiscing about all the movies I loved as a kid, just total classic movies. And recently, I saw a video by Noodles the Cat. I talked about Kevin before. I gave him a shout out, and he mentioned in the video, try to guess this movie, and he was describing the steak scene from The Great Outdoors. Now, The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, just another awesome movie from my youth. So when he was talking about the scenes, I knew it like that. But I wanted to think of my top 3 favorite childhood movies. Okay? So in addition to the top 10 most emotional songs, as a bonus, I guess you can name 3 of your favorite movies as a kid. And here's my 3. The Sandlot, the original, the first, The Sandlot, I must have seen it literally over 100 times. And every single time I watched it, I can put it on TV right now and just be glued to it. And these are the kind of movies where if it comes on, again, you stop whatever you're doing, you forget about whatever's going on, and you sit and you watch that movie intentively, okay? And you barely blink because it's that good. Now, these movies aren't necessarily great movies. They're just part of my life, so they bring back memories, good memories. The Sandlot, awesome. The Goonies, equally awesome, totally cliche, overdone, but who cares? I love it. Some honorable mentions besides the Goonies as classics. Of course, the original Charlie and Chocolate Factory, Wizard of Oz, stuff like that as well. But the Goonies, for me, stands out so much. That's the first time in my life I was ever exposed to the battle song. Yes, on the scene when they're about to get to the ship and they're crossing the log, and the Chinese kid puts squirts some oil on the log, whatever, and the guy falls. And then and then the next scene right after that, the other one flips out the battle song. I'm like, whoa, what was that? That knife is cool. And maybe I'll do a story time. Besides that, the first time I saw one in real life was actually almost a knife fight, and that does make a great story time video. So I'll tell that in a separate video. That's what I mean. When I saw this other situation in person, I'm like, I gotta get one of those. That is so cool. That's first story time. But also, because I picked the song Stand By Me, I started thinking about the movie Stand By Me, which again is a total classic. If you've never seen that movie, you have to go watch it right this second. Unless you're about to go to bed, which for some reason most people watch videos of mine right before they go to sleep, and they end up staying up too late, and then they yell at me for it. But anyway, that's all. I thought I would share that with you guys. I thought it'd be an interesting topic. Food's fascinating, and people like food videos because everyone eats. You know, this is no different. Everyone listens to music. I'd love to hear what your favorite, most emotional songs are for you. Things that make you cry, things that make you laugh out loud, things that bring back amazing experiences in your life that you can relive over and over and over again every single time you hear those songs. I'd love to see your video responses or, post a comment. So that's all. Just wanted to mention that. And thank you for your time, as always. I certainly appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take it easy.